In March of 1997, in the college town of Alder Springs, a small local bulletin board system called the Lamplight hosted a late-night chatroom where the same 15 or 20 people talked until 2 or 3 in the morning. On the night of March 11th, at 1:04 a.m., a user nobody recognized, with the handle gray_hollow, began typing. Not chatting. Describing. Present tense, unhurried, one line at a time, a man walking a woman to her car in the gravel lot behind the Regent Theater, what she was wearing, what she said, what he did. It read like someone narrating a scene they were watching through glass. The regulars told him to knock it off. He typed for 11 minutes and logged off. 3 days later, behind the Regent Theater, it all came true. Stay with this one, because the murder matching the transcript is not the impossible part. The impossible part is where the transcript came from. The victim was Nicole Saris, 26, a waitress at a diner 2 doors from the Regent, killed on the night of March 14th after locking up, in the gravel lot where she parked. The investigation was ordinary at first, in the terrible sense that these investigations are ordinary. It became something else when a Lamplight regular, a graduate student who had been in the chat room on the 11th, walked into the police station with a dot matrix printout and put it on the counter with shaking hands. Detectives compared the transcript to the scene. The gravel lot, named. The green coat, correct. The time, within minutes. The direction her car faced. A line of dialogue, she says she can find her own keys, thank you, that matched, almost word for word, what a passerby on the street out front half heard that night and had already told police, a detail never released. And one more detail, the one that removed all doubt and all comfort, gray_hollow had typed, near the end, he puts her keys on the roof of the car when it's done. Nicole Saris's keys were found on the roof of her car. That detail was in the crime scene photographs and nowhere else. It was sealed then and remained sealed for 2 decades. The person typing on March 11th knew what the killer would do with the keys 3 days before the killer did it. The natural conclusion, the one the detectives wanted very much, was that gray_hollow was the killer, rehearsing. Premeditation typed out in a public room by someone too arrogant to stay silent. So they traced him, and 1997 was a good year for tracing, because the Lamplight sysop, a meticulous man named Dwight Farrow who ran the board out of his spare bedroom, logged everything, connection times, originating lines, session records. The gray_hollow session was right there in his logs. It had dialed in at 1:02 a.m. and dropped at 1:16. And the originating line, confirmed by the phone company from their own switching records, was the public terminal at the Alder Springs Municipal Library. The library had 1 modem line and 1 public computer. At 1 a.m. on March 11th, the library had been closed for 4 hours. The building was alarmed, the alarm log unbroken. The night janitor had left at 11. And the terminal itself, police confirmed with the head librarian, was shut down every evening at closing as a fire rule, unplugged at the wall by the same woman for 9 years, who did it that night as she did every night. Here is the detail that ended the tidy theory forever. The phone company's records agreed a 14-minute call had traveled down the library's line to the Lamplight's number, but the library's own line, that same night, was also logged by the alarm company, whose system shared it and pulsed a heartbeat signal down at every 90 seconds. The alarm heartbeats show the line free and silent at 1:04, 1:07, 1:10. 2 companies' records say 2 different things about 1 copper wire. A call that both happened and could not have happened, from a dark room where a computer sat unplugged. Every regular in the chat room that night was identified and cleared. The killer of Nicole Saris was never found. No suspect ever emerged whose life touched the library, the theater, and the board. The file stayed open, and the transcript stayed in it, and detectives came and went, and each one, according to the department's own quiet tradition, read the 11 minutes once and never asked to read them again. Because the transcript has a last line, and the last line is the reason. After describing the keys on the roof, after 11 minutes of steady, watching, present tense narration of a crime that was still 3 days in the future, Gray_Hollow paused for almost a minute, the session log shows it, and then typed one final sentence before disconnecting. I can stop typing now. He has seen her. March 14, the investigators eventually established, was the first night the killer could have seen Nicole Saris in the lot, because it was the first night that month she closed alone. Whoever, or whatever, was typing on the 11th was not describing the past and was not planning the future. It was watching something that had not happened yet, and waiting, patiently, for the world to catch up to it. The lamplight went offline in 1999 when Dwight Farrell moved away. He donated his logs to the case file, all of them, and detectives found that Gray_Hollow had connected exactly one more time, in March of 1998, a year after the murder, at 1:04 a.m., again from the impossible library line. The session lasted 40 seconds. One line was typed into an empty room, no regulars present, nobody there to read it but the log itself, the theater again. The last week of March. Police staked out the Regent lot for the last week of that March, and the next. Nothing happened, and budgets are budgets, and by 2001 no one was watching. The Regent Theatre closed in 2003. In the last week of March, 2004, a woman's body was found in the gravel lot behind the boarded-up building, a case that also remains unsolved. The library replaced its public terminal years ago. But the line is still there, the same copper pair under the same street, and somewhere on it, if two companies' records are to be believed, there is room for a caller who leaves no trace except a warning, typed in lowercase, to a room where everyone has long since logged off.